Here we've got a lot of headlines to get to, both locally and nationally, but we want to start with something really, really special. Of course, lots going on this weekend, but for the whole month, I believe from September 24th through October 26th, you can go see Wicked at Blumenthal Arts, which is a really, really special just show in general, but especially given the timing. We have a special guest here today, Eileen Takei. She plays Madame Morrible. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So let's get started with, for people who maybe haven't gone to see it yet, tell us about Wicked. Say you were talking to someone who's never seen it. How would you describe it?
Well, it's an incredible musical extravaganza. It's a sort of a riff on if you've seen The Wizard of Oz, the witches, Glinda, who's the good witch, and Elphaba, who's becomes the wicked witch. It's a look back to how they met and how they became who they are. And it's an incredible story of, they come to Shiz University, which I am the head shistress of, as Madame Morrible. And they have preconceived notions about each other and how they behave and who they are in the world. And they loathe each other, basically, when they first meet. And I sort of put them together. And unknowingly, they discover about each other that they aren't who they thought they each were, and they become an incredible duo. An incredible friendship develops, which I think is the highlight of the story of how these two women who had prejudices against each other and others, because Elphaba, being green, is an other, and Glinda is a very popular, very beloved, sort of character. I think that story is what really shines through. And then you get to see all of the sort of people in, the wizard and all of these other characters that you know from The Wizard of Oz if you've seen it, or if you haven't, that's okay, because it becomes clear of how they became who they were and how it leads into sort of The Wizard of Oz. It's thrilling, it's a gorgeous production, and I have to say, even though I'm a part of it, it is an amazing cast that we have now that tells this story, following the footsteps of many amazing casts of Wicked, because it's been going on for, 22 years now.
And that's why I wanted to ask you just to give us an overall synopsis of the musical. Many people, of course, already know what it's about, but the kind of renewed interest in this as the movies are coming out. I know we're awaiting the second one coming out very soon, which is why I say the timing of this is great for people. But I know that this is such a special show to so many people, and it must be cool to see so many people now come to the theater because the movie has brought more interest to it.
Yeah, I think you have a myriad of audiences, some who have been watching the show for these 22 years. I mean, I've met people after the show that have seen the show for like 30 times they've seen the show. And sometimes they travel to see it. They've been to Broadway to see it, or they follow it along, or when it's in their city, they come nightly. Some of them come nightly because they just love the show. And it's here for, here it's for 5 weeks, which is great. But what's happening, too, is you have people who saw it when they were young, and now they're bringing their children. So you have generations coming together. And then you have a whole group of people who've seen the movie, who have never seen the production, the stage production, who have come to the theater for the first time. They've never seen a big Broadway musical, and because they saw the movie, they wanted to see the stage show. And it's thrilling because they're just like, I can't believe it's like this. It's so different than the movie. It's the same story, but the presentation of being live, of sitting in with an audience like that, who is like another character in the story, and the responses, and them just sort of discovering what it's like to be in live theater. It's very thrilling. And then also very excited about part 2 coming out. And I was saying earlier that some people think after the first act of the musical, it's over, but it's not, because there's part 2. And some people don't want to know what's part 2. They want to wait for the movie, so they might leave after the first act, but mostly they stick around, and then they're like, oh, we know what's going to happen, in the film in part 2. And so they're feeding off of each other, the musical, the stage show, and the movie, which is, it's kind of great that it's bringing a whole new group of people to the theater.
maybe those people that left at the intermission will come back.
Well,
and
I
see it
think they
again.
are. I think some of them are like, we're going to come back and see Act 2 after we've seen the movie. Hopefully they'll come for Act 1 too again. I think so.
Hopefully, yes.
And see the whole thing through. Just like I think what's going to happen is some people, when Part 2 comes out of the movie, they're probably going to want to see Part 1 again into Part 2. So it'll be a long sort of. It's great.
Well, it is so exciting, not just with these movies coming out, but Wicked has had a life of its own for so many years now. It's kind of this own legacy already. What is it like for you as an actor to kind of fill those shoes that have been filled by so many people before you?
It's thrilling. I mean, I think that I'm from California, so I saw Wicked when it first came through on tour, like probably around 2008-ish, something like that. I think it first came maybe in 2005, but it played in Los Angeles at the Pantages for like, I think a couple of years from 2007 to 9. And I remember being completely blown away when I saw it. But not being in New York, I never really thought about doing the show. And here I am 20 years later, and it's like, it's thrilling to be able to continue the legacy. What I love about the production of Wicked is that you are continuing the same show, but they encourage you to bring yourself to it. So I'm following all these great actresses who have done Madame Morrible, but I get to bring myself to Madame Morrible and make her my own, which is, it's great. And I've never done a show that is a legacy show like that has been running for so long. So you feel this incredible responsibility to really bring everything to it, because because people are watching and they know the story and they know, and I've had this one gal come up to me and go, so I've seen it, like 27 times, and I love your Madame Morrible. And I'm thinking, thank goodness. Because you do feel that sort of like they're watching and
pressure.
They know, but they also love when you bring something new to it and a new surprise. Oh, I love your angle on it, or I like the way that she presented, So it's something really special.
Something really cool about Wicked too is how many of these characters are just so layered and complex, and things reveal themselves throughout the musical that you weren't expecting, and Madame Morrible is a big part of that. Is there a favorite moment that you have as an actor that you're a part of on stage?
Yes, without giving too much away. I like so Madame Morrible discovers that Elphaba has power. And Madame Morrible is very ambitious, and she wants power. She wants more power. She works with the wizard, along with wanting to have control over things. And I think that the moment for me that's really special is when she discovers that Elphaba is not going to go along with the plan as she sees it, and what she does with that, and what she creates with it, and what she manipulates. I think it's a very strong moment for the character, and it's a switch in her that goes off, that creates a whole new area of where the story goes. And she really names Elphaba as the Wicked Witch. So it's a very thrilling, powerful moment when she realizes that and gets to address Oz and say, look, she is not who we thought she was, you know.
That's so special, and I know that's such a big emotional point that
Yes.
is really cool to be a part of. I know we talked about how many people have played this role before and adding your own spin to it, and there's something so special about theater that's live and being in that audience. How is that for you, watching the movie come out as you're in this production at the same time?
It's really great because I love when they do movie musicals. Some of them are so incredibly successful. Some are not so much. It's not an easy thing to do. And with Wicked, I thought they did a phenomenal job, and I'm really excited to see part 2. But I also think that it's a different medium, and I think there's room for all of it, and I do think they feed into each other. But there's certain things you can do with a movie that you can't do on stage, and vice versa.
Yeah.
I love the theater. I'm just a theater animal. It's where I feel home. I love the audience being there and being another character, as we look at it, sort of another character who participates with what we're doing, and it feeds us. And Charlotte has, the Belk is a great theater. The Belk Theater is, I've been here once before. I did Funny Girl here a couple years ago. And we were only here for a week, so I'm thrilled to be back for 5 weeks. But it's a beautiful theater to play in because as big as it has this intimacy. The audience is right there, and Charlotte audiences are very responsive, and it just feeds us, you know. And so it's a great relationship when you get to be live as we are now. With, you know, things happen every night. There's differences every night. Different people go on every night with Wicked. If someone's on vacation, they might bring someone in who did the show a couple years ago for the week. So all of a sudden you're on with somebody new. It's always fresh. It's always like, it's really incredible.
With all this new energy. It must be really, really cool.
Very. I'm sorry?
Just very cool to be a part of that live energy.
Yeah.
And you mentioned the Belk Theater. Just want to remind everyone again, it is September 24th through October 26th. Belk Theater at Blumenthal Art Center. Anything else you'd say to people to encourage them to come out, whether they're a theater nerd or they've never been to the theater? What would you say?
Well, I think if you're going to see a live theater show for the first time, Wicked is a great way to go because it's visually incredible. I mean, the costume sets and lighting, they've actually LED'd all the lighting now, so the colors are just like, Stephen Schwartz's music is phenomenal. I mean, I still am standing backstage. I've started in May. This whole new group of principals started together in May. And we are still standing there listening, like when we're not on, to this incredible music, laughing, crying backstage. There's a whole other show going on back there. And like every once in a while I just giggle and go, I'm doing Wicked. You know, I still can't believe it. It's just, I don't know, there's something completely special about it. And I think that everybody wants to be there. That's the other thing. People are passionate about the show. Mm-hmm. Crew, cast, musicians, they love being there, so yeah.
I was a theater kid myself, so I will be there at some point. There are still tickets available for those of you who haven't gotten them yet. Eileen, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you so much.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, but we're going to have all that information on our website in a bit. Stick with us.